They wanted to have back surgery after I hurt my back at the age of 22, right after I got married. I had this gut feeling that the surgery would be fatal. Your spirit is alerting you to something. You know it. I put it off for 5 years straight, until they said I couldn't avoid it. Prior to my admission to the hospital, my family and friends were informed. When I cried out, "Listen, I'm going to die," they firmly denied it. All you feel is fear. I thought, I'm telling you, I need to make sure everything's all set. To be sure, I had a magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, scan with contrast dye the night prior to my operation. I informed them that I had a severe reaction to it the last time I took it, so I was worried it was an allergic reaction. After I sat down at the table for what felt like hours, they said, "Oh, that's normal. Everybody has that reaction." As a 27-year-old who isn't a doctor, what do I know? Past at the moment the dye was injected, the term near-death experience was completely foreign to me at the time, so I refrained from using it. I was pronounced dead. In preparation for a TED talk I gave a few years ago, I did a lot of reading up on near-death experiences, NDEs. To begin with, an NDE is a blanket term for all humans. You are much more than the suit that occupies your body. You are an electric entity with a soul that resides within. A portion of it resides within your physical form, while the rest is visible to others around you. This is known as your aura. You spend most of your time in the fifth dimension, the lowest level of heaven. There, your soul controls the timing of every occurrence in your life and stores the wisdom from every existence that you've ever had. So I used to think that knowledge and love were the two things that crossed over when I died, but now I know that we take all of our emotions and experiences with us. Not just our facts and figures. We take all of the feelings, regret, rage, despair, and so on, from the many people who are still on the opposite side. Therefore, if something dreadful were to happen, for example, if you were to be in a terrible automobile accident, but it wasn't your time to die, your soul would leap out of your body to avoid the pain. All right, my little brother was in a terrible vehicle accident when he was 16 years old. He recalled being on the sidewalk and watching everything unfold until the paramedics arrived, at which point he returned to his physical form. It's not the same as dying. It's termed a near-death experience, or NDE. A deer ran her head into my girlfriend's car through the driver's side window. For a long time after we met, she blamed herself and believed she wouldn't go to heaven, because she remembered her soul stuck in the car and seeing the deer's soul go to heaven. But she didn't. Same thing happened when paramedics arrived. She returned to her body, numbing herself to the stress. As a result, everyone is considered to have had an NDE. Again, for those who have been through what I did, everything is slightly different. It was a near-death experience. If you ask some people what they see, they might describe it as a column of light or a tunnel of light. That was completely lost on me. In an instant, I was transported to the lowest level of heaven, the fifth dimension, as I have since learnt. I began to feel like I was getting a life review while I was there. This movie is unfolding right before my eyes, like I'm in the very first row of an IMAX theater. They were bringing to light the good times, the joy I had experienced, the people who loved and cared for me, and the fact that I had endured a really tough existence. Even though I was able to observe everything going on around me at the hospital, I could hear someone saying behind me that this isn't my time. It is up to me whether I choose to remain or return. I must admit, I was seriously contemplating remaining. On the other side, it was just incredible. There was no suffering, no burden on your soul, just pure energy, and an overwhelming sense of affection washed over me. After that, it hit me. I was here mostly for my 2 small children, and they were the source of all my happiness and fulfillment at the time. My return to my physical form was instantaneous upon my choosing to do so. How long was it, is a question that keeps popping up. I am uncertain. People have been dead for over 30 minutes without brain damage setting in, even though it's said to happen at 3 minutes. Although he spent a considerable amount of time checking me out, going to the wall, pressing a button, waiting for the crash cart to descend, and injecting something into the IV line, it was all in vain. Fortunately, that didn't work either. The next step was to paddle me. They tried it again, but this time it failed. With a smack on the wrist and the words, "We can't lose you, we can't lose you," he turned the entire table upside down, perhaps in an effort to increase the pressure on my veins and bring them to my head. Being absent has rendered me emotionally numb. Everything is happening before my eyes. Afterwards, he raised the bed again. I was back in my body in the blink of an eye, literally, as soon as I decided to return. I imagined they were about to attempt to paddle me again. In terms of the science underlying all of this, the speed of light is over 300 million meters per second. At the moment of my departure for paradise, my soul was traveling at the speed of light. Because I returned to my physical form at the same pace, my vibration is naturally significantly higher than the average person's. All of these terms, energy, vibration, and frequency, mean the same thing. Plus, I can effortlessly travel to and from that fifth dimension whenever I want. Plus, I am free to visit whenever I like or need to, according to them. There, my spirit dissolves. For the time being, they have not granted me permission for my spirit to physically transcend that point. I am confined to this body, albeit I have seen beyond it. Loathe this existence. It's bouncing about. It's incredibly brief. Although it's truly breathtaking on the other side, it's just as breathtaking here too. No such thing as color. The ability to perceive it with our sense of sight is what gives it its existence. It's all about the reflection and the stunning hues, isn't it? A large portion of the population is colorblind, and so cannot appreciate that. Embrace the fullness of life and everything it has to offer. Anybody can sit around and find something terrible to say. It's really simple to achieve that. However, that negates your purpose, the beauty, and the whole thing. Find the love and beauty in one another. Why is this person a part of my life? Which way can I be of use to them? The truth is that we're all here to provide a hand to one another. Everyone needs others. You need other people in order to learn. Relationships teach you lessons more quickly, because everything is a relationship. Everyone is involved in your connection.